Hello and welcome to your practice. Thank you for joining me here today. So I'm going to be sharing an energy practice with you, could be seen as a meditation, and it has a few different names. The version I'm sharing with you is inspired by the teacher Tara Judell, and she calls it the three-dimensional self. But it has other names too. But essentially, I wanted to share this with you because I find this a really useful remembering or a kind of coming home to myself, coming back to my center. So I really hope that it offers you something too. No pressure. So ideally you want to be able to have a comfortable seat. That might be in a chair, it might be on the floor. Either way, just make sure it's comfortable, and that ideally you want your spine to be upright. Doesn't have to be rigid, but just upright enough. So it's kind of energizing in some ways. Also, if you are sitting on the floor, please feel free to use props, cushions, anything that you need to make this comfortable, okay? So, as I said, this is a kind of homecoming practice, at least for me, I feel it is. And the idea is that we kind of remember our way back to our center. So what we're practicing is expanding our energy out into different directions and then coming back to our center. So I'm going to give you a little demo before we get into it, because I think it's quite nice to be able to close your eyes and just kind of get on with it as I talk you through. So what we'll do with the breath, you can add the hand movements if you like, or just leave them behind, whatever works. So the first part will be expanding the energy up and down. So this idea that as we inhale, we lengthen up, but also lengthen downwards. And then as we exhale, we bring everything back to center. Yeah, so this kind of movement, expanding into infinity and beyond, and then drawing everything back in to center. Okay, so that's the first plane of movement. The second plane is out horizontally. So as you inhale, you'll broaden your energy to your left and your right, super expansive, and exhaling, bringing it back in. Okay, so inhaling, opening, exhaling, drawing back in. So then the final plane of movement is kind of forwards and backwards. So you'll inhale and draw the energy out through your front and out your back, and exhale, draw it back into center. Okay. So you don't have to be rigid or get neurotic about these lines at all. In fact, the more you practice this, you perhaps can think about expanding your energy in all different directions, because that will be our culmination of the practice. We will explore opening up and then drawing back in. All right? So once again, feel free to use the arms, or if that's too much, just leave it behind. Make sure you're comfortable, and if you are, maybe close your eyes. If not, feel free to just gaze downwards, so you're softening your gaze, softening the muscles around your eyes, dropping in and just taking a few rounds of breath without needing to control the breath. All you're doing is just dropping in. It's like landing in your destination, letting yourself arrive. And then when you meet yourself there, when you assess where your energy's at, then we can start to play with that. So just join in as and when it feels right for you. So with the inhale, imagine lengthening your energy plane as high up and as low down as you possibly can. And with your exhale, just drawing everything back to your center. So just moving at your own pace, with your own rhythm of breath, lengthening, and then drawing everything back into center. So you'll take around 3 rounds of this. Please feel free to add more if you've got more time. And at the end of your exhale, you can then move into the horizontal plane. So as you inhale, broadening out to the left, to the right. Exhale, just drawing that energy back to your center. So imagining this energy reaching way beyond the room. And then drawing all the way back in. Just take one more round on your own. And then the final lines move out in front and behind you with the inhale. Drawing back to center with the exhale. So just letting the movement synchronize with your breath if you're using your hands and your arms. If not, maybe think about lengthening the breath. At the end of your exhale, perhaps you can imagine your energy expanding out in all directions, like you're in this protective sphere. And then everything drawing back in on the exhale. So the inhale, expanding your energy in all directions, taking up space. And with the exhale, just drawing that back into containment. Just take another couple of rounds on your own. And at the end of your next exhale, no rush, just gently draw your palms together, chin towards your chest. And maybe this hand movement, this drawing together of the palms is kind of remembering of yourself, of your center, of your home. And a remembering that this is always available to you. So especially if your energy ever feels scattered, or if you're just pulled in all kinds of different directions, physically, energetically, just knowing you can bring it all back home. Come back home to yourself. Give yourself a bow. Well done. I hope that was useful for you and that it serves you in the future. Feel free to do it anywhere and let me know.